Let's have a talk about adding in lots of different lead sources to your business. Now, this is hot off the heels of a conversation I was having with a client. Their business is growing very, very smoothly at the moment. And they were kind of talking to me about adding on like Instagram organic, adding on Reels, and adding in a few other marketing, strategies that they wanted to use to take their business to seven figures. And what I kind of said to them, in my opinion, it's better to do one thing really, really, really well rather than having multiple different lead sources. If you think about a lot of business owners at the moment, what they're really doing, and I've done this as well in my life, is they're really, really dabbling in many things. So, obviously referrals, maybe Instagram organic, maybe Facebook business page, we're posting Facebook personal page. In certain businesses, you can do local outreach. You might have Google ads, you might have paid ads, you might have a website. So then that's just like a couple of things you guys can do. Essentially, I made a training once on 256 ways you can market a business. So there's plenty of different ways that you can do it. But in my opinion, and what I've seen is businesses who focus right now on having many different lead sources, many different ways that they are marketing, are essentially just doing a lot of things very, very, very poorly without being world class at any one thing. Now, this business in particular, they're only spending $60 per day on their ads. And what I was kind of saying to this individual, I go, we have a business in the same location with a very similar audience who's spending $6,000 per week on ads. So if you look at the business owner who is interested in adding all these different things to get more leads, say they're spending $320 a week on their ads. We have a business owner who's doing over 400K a month in revenue, who's literally spending about 20 times as much as them in paid ads. And if we're talking about paid ads specifically, because it's the fastest and best way to be able to grow a business, there's actually like a lot of different things you have to master and be really world class at. But also, as well, it gives you a couple of other options of how you can generate leads for your business off the back of running paid ads. So the initial thing in paid ads is you have to have the right offer and you have to be able to articulate your offer in a sentence of exactly what it is and exactly who it helps. Because if you don't have that in place, then the audience won't actually know what you are offering. Okay, so it all starts with the right offer. Okay, and then you need to know that you can scale your ad spend, right? Now, generally, in any area, you're looking at being able to spend anywhere from $1,000 a week to $250,000 a week, depending on your business and your targeting. Okay. But when we're running ads with the right offer, you want to make sure that you're able to collect adequate cash to be able to fund your ads. So, say for example, one of the businesses we work with spends about $24,000 a month on ads at the moment. Okay, just for this one example. Now, if this business is able to collect more than $24,000 back, which covers their ad spend, and they need a little bit of extra money, obviously, for sales commission, sales time, CRMs, texting, emailing. But if they're able to cover all of that cost, which really just loads into a thing called your CAC, okay, is then you're able to spend really, really, really freely on your ads. And when you're able to spend really freely on your ads, you can essentially scale to the moon because if you're signing people up and they're on 6, 12-month programs, 2,000, 10,000, $50,000 programs, and you're covering your ad spend in 28 days, you can just continue to scale your budgets higher and higher and higher and higher. Now, when you're running your ads, there's a couple of things that you have to do well. So when someone opts in, you've got to be able to contact those leads very quickly. That's speed to lead. And there's a lot of research and data on this on that if you can contact a lead within 5 minutes of opt-in, it essentially increases your chances of being able to sign them up by over 100%. So out of everything off your ads, when you're focusing on this much like what's going to move the needle fastest, there's a lot of things that you can do. But literally just focusing on that speed of contact is going to make the biggest and most radical difference within your ads in terms of lead to conversion rate. Okay, but then if you're running a call funnel, which we recommend, where you get someone's name, email, phone number, and the reason why we recommend this is instead of Instagram messenger ads and all those different things, is it actually helps build your database. So then you have more opportunities to be able to market them off the bat. Instagram messenger ads, which were like in vogue and worked really, really well like 12 months ago, they're not working as well across the board now because everyone does them. And also you've got ManyChat, which every organic marketer who has a big audience is doing. Okay. But it limits you because you can remarket to them in ads, but you don't have a way to call them, text them, email them, and do all those really great things, which really creates a marketing ecosystem. Okay, but then once you've got your speed to lead done, you've got your offer, you're collecting the right cash, you know how to call the leads, how to text them, how to email to get them booked. Okay, then we have to be able to like actually manage your pipeline. So in your pipeline, you'll have people who opted in the last 10 days, people who have booked an appointment, people who've attended, people who you've sold, people who you said to like follow up with you later, people who you can't get in contact. And this pipeline management is a really big part of creating a seven-figure business. Okay. But off the back of that, if you're getting someone's name, email, phone number, okay, as I mentioned, a lot of people watching this training could probably increase their budgets on their ads by anywhere from 10, right, to probably 100x what you're spending. You'll have that ability to be able to do that, right? But when you're getting someone's name, email, phone number, you've really got a couple of ways that you can continue to drop your CAC as you're building your audiences. So one, you can to continue to call them. You could call them once a month after they opted in, of course. You can send regular emails, like 3 emails a week. You can send regular text messages, either in a workflow or you can like, essentially send broadcast messages. We call that a war plan or a reactivation play. And then finally, once you've done that, right, you've just gone, cool. I'm spending, for example, 320 a week on ads. You can go to 3,200 a week. You're going to get 10 times the reach, 10 times the exposure, roughly 10 times the leads, roughly 10 times the sales. Your audience is going to be growing 10 times faster with emails, text messages, all those different things you can do. Is then you have the advanced tracking and data that you have to be able to understand of, what's your ad spend, what's your cost per lead. This is all top level. How many bookings are you getting? What's your show rate percentage in your bookings? What's your sale rate? How much cash do you collect on average up front? How much contracted cash can you get? So when you get really good at this one thing, at ads, you can essentially 10x your business, and you don't have to post reels. You don't have to post YouTube videos. You don't have to post podcasts. You don't have to mindlessly DM people on social media. Now, not saying those things don't work, guys, because they definitely do. And you can find businesses that are crushing it with that. But I know what doesn't work. What doesn't work is running ads at a half-assed level, not being professional at it, of posting reels and not scripting them, not having them highly edited, not having training on how you present, on doing podcasts where you're not putting much effort in, doing YouTube, doing TikTok, having like a half-assed referral strategy, not even emailing your database. I know that those things and doing like 10 or 15 different things definitely don't work. Okay, so what you want to do is decide on what marketing avenue do you want to be world class at. Build out those systems completely, and it might take you anywhere from 3 to 12 months to build up those systems, to scale your ads accordingly, to have your tracking, to have your sales team, to have your automations. And then you've just condensed what you're learning, because I like everyone's odds much better to get really, really good at one thing rather than at the same time concurrently trying to get really, really good at seven things. Okay, because that is not the way you learn, that is not the way you grow, that is not how you get best results. So hopefully that helped a little bit in terms of your thinking, in terms of your rationale, in terms of a time frame. And of course, guys, if you do have any questions or anything like that, especially in regards to paid ads, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm more than happy to help you guys. Either we can teach you to run your ads, which we prefer, or of course we can run your ads for you if you do have a little bit of a bigger budget that you're running at the moment.